here we are. I'm with Ruth here at her beautiful flat in Hackney, overlooking the canal. Morning. On a Sunday morning. It's the afternoon now. Afternoon. Ruth was taught by Gemma. Was Gemma your teacher?
Gemma,
okay.
Yes.
So we're here I'm here to just hear about your TM journey. How did you come to learn? Like what led you to it in the first place? Were you looking for something specific, or did you just see a random advert, or did someone recommend you? How did you hear about it right at the beginning?
Well, if I go way back, way back, I've always sort of enjoyed meditation.
Yeah.
I will go even further back than that. From school, I was like a big fan of gymnastics. I was very good at it. So much so that my teacher wanted me to go to like gymnastics school, and my dad said no, and that's another story. But I love gymnastics. And then in my adulthood, I discovered yoga. And I thought, wow, this is just gymnastics for adults. And I absolutely loved it. And then sort of yoga and meditation kind of went hand in hand. But I was good at yoga. I enjoyed yoga. And I sort of saw the benefits that it was getting me. But then when it came to the meditation part, I just didn't get it.
Was there a meditation when you were doing yoga, like at the end of the class?
Yeah,
that kind of thing?
Yeah. And I wanted to discover a bit more about meditation and different techniques. And I just didn't understand what I was doing, to be honest.
Sure, okay.
And back then I would always say that I have to clear my mind in meditation.
Yeah, the old chestnut.
The old chestnut, that one. So it was frustrating, and I just didn't understand what it was. I couldn't get to grips with it. And so I kind of left it on the side. I enjoyed my yoga, wanted to be more healthy and fit. And then I sort of went back into this meditation thing, and I started doing my own thing, because I just thought, I've got a special gift. I can do this myself.
DIY?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my own DIY stuff. And I did have some really good experiences. I didn't know what they were. And so I would always question, like, the kind of meditation I was doing. It was very visual. So I'll just have the deep breath going, get myself into like a real centered position. And I just suddenly started to visualize all these lights. And it was like a performance of light show. And I became really addicted to it.
Okay.
And I'd like have the expectation that every meditation is going to be this performance show. And so I got myself into a bit of a loop. So I kind of stopped doing that, because it felt like I was quite addicted to it. And the expectation, and when it didn't happen, I got frustrated if this particular meditation wasn't as good as last week. So what am I doing wrong this time?
Okay.
Sort of that high expectation. So I just sort of quit. And there was always that in the back of my mind. And then one day I was scrolling.
Unfinished business.
Okay. And I would always want to know the answers to things. It's like I keep questioning, well, why does that happen? Why did I see the light that day and not that day? And so I was scrolling through my phone on Instagram, just randomly. And then I saw a post for TM. And I saw Gemma. She was doing like a little talk. And I actually stopped because I thought I knew her. I recognised her from somewhere. But I didn't know her. But she just gravitated towards me. And I thought, what is this? I couldn't even say the word transcendental meditation. What is this thing? I had no idea about it.
Luckily, the technique is not as complicated as the name.
It took me a while to get the name out, yeah. So, I just thought, what is this? I did hear the name, but I didn't really sort of dive into it. So I had no idea what this was all about. And so I thought, I'm going to contact this Gemma lady. And so I did, and we had the chat. And then it just sort of stemmed from there. And that was like back in May 2020.
So you did the TM course with Gemma?
I did, yes.
And that was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And what did you notice straight away? Did you notice anything straight away? Or was it a slow change?
Well, I'll say when I did the course, it was 4 days.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a good time, a length of time.
Okay.
It wasn't too much and it wasn't too intense. But I think because the way it was structured and the content, I became really engaged with it. And because the content, like I said, was engaging, you had Dr. Tony Nader going through the content, you really wanted to just do it. So I completed my 2-hour sort of work beforehand, and then afterwards you'd have a one-to-one with Gemma, and then you have a group meditation, and you'll talk about what you learned on the course. So I was like the star pupil saying, yes, I've looked at my content.
You're the teacher's pet.
I was so eager, yeah, because it was really, really engaging. So the course itself, I think what it did for me is that, I don't know how, but like I said, I kept asking questions. Like, but why is this happening?
To yourself?
Why is that? Yeah,
like
to myself.
Big life questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And always sort of questioning when I meditate, well, what does that mean? And then doing this course, it kind of just naturally stopped me asking those questions. And that was huge for me.
So do you mean that you had a lot of doubts about meditating and about what it should look like and whether you were doing it right?
Yeah.
And by doing the course, those questions were answered?
It wasn't so much that all my questions were answered. I think what it was the fact that when you look at, and I think this was part of the course that they did mention this, and don't quote me on this, but we're like looking at sort of the intellect of the mind and the intellect of nature, and sort of it's uncomparable in the sense that you just let nature take its course.
Gotcha. Okay. So you
an acceptance.
You stopped interfering so much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really thought that, like, okay, my mind can't fathom what the universe is doing to me or what's happening in the world.
There's a limit to what you can possibly...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think before I wanted to know the answers to the whole universe and everything else, and it really frustrated me because these things were happening. Like, you have certain sensations in your body, you see certain lights when you meditate. What does it all mean? Where am I going? I just wanted to know. But I think when I started this course and I started to understand that some things just aren't sort of answerable to my brain.
Yeah. Okay, so what difference did that make to your life? Like, so since you meditated in the last 2 years, obviously there's doing the meditation, but then there's like, did it affect your daily life in some way? Did you notice any benefits?
Yeah.
What did you notice?
Well, because I've got like a sort of was it an addictive nature, slightly OCD, wanting to know questions, all those kind of things. And I just had that idea of letting go, you know, that old cliche of letting go.
Oh, you mean in meditation or in life?
No, in life. And I would like hold on to a lot of things, and I would sort of stress myself out about things, giving myself anxiety about things, trying to change other people because I wanted it done my way, and just realizing that no, just let it go. And that was huge.
Whoa, that's really cool.
That was huge.
So it sounds like you, instead of kind of grasping at things and places and people and experiences, and life became more harmonious because you grasped less. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Okay.
I grasp less, and then sort of focus on things that I can control. That's, you know, you hear about those things previously, you know, only control what you can control and don't control other people.
Right.
But sort of putting it into practice is another thing.
Okay, good. So that's a pretty fundamental kind of shift. Because I imagine that would decrease your kind of stress levels in all ways.
In all ways, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I am perfect and I don't get any stress, because I do. I do. I have a stressful job. I've got like family stuff going on. But it's knowing how to handle it better. Finding that like certain things don't trigger me as much as they used to. And you have that awareness.
Yeah.
Which I perhaps didn't have. I would like to say that I was quite aware of what's going on, but it's more noticeable. And I could sort of say, okay, is this worth me getting upset about? Is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
worth me stressing and trying to do as much as I can to get things right?
So you became. Sorry, I feel like I'm putting words in your mouth. Would you say you became less reactive to things? Less. Was that the right word or?
Less reactive. I would say, yeah, I guess like less reactive, but I would say more of what am I looking for? I wouldn't sort of like take things personally as much.
Okay.
Because I feel like for example, if I wanted to help someone doing something and they weren't quite doing it the way I wanted to do it, and I think, well, was it something that I've said? It's something that I'm doing wrong. I'm trying to help you. That kind of thing. Where I'm thinking, no, that's what they want to do and that's how they do it. I should respect that.
Okay.
And it's not anything to do with what I'm doing wrong, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I guess less reactive, not sort of worrying about what other people are thinking. All those things are sort of plays into it. So it just gives me a better awareness of just let it go.
In your own words, what does it feel like to do transcendental meditation? Just a little couple of sentences. What does it feel like to meditate?
It's very hard to explain or to articulate. I would say initially it's very restful. I feel very peaceful. But then I don't have expectations. So I could have meditations where I'm just constantly thinking about things. And I accept that, it comes in and then it goes naturally. So for me, that experience in itself is really sort of liberating and free. You're kind of in control, but not in control. It's a weird sort of juxtaposition that you've got. But what I really love about it is that you have days where you sort of dip into this state of nothingness, and you even sort of, everything stops. And it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen for me personally for a long time, but there's like moments where I just don't hear anything. I don't even like have a breath. And it's only until I kind of realize, oh, I've got to breathe. And then I can recognize my breath again. But having like those moments that you dip in and out, that's something I've never experienced before.
How different do you think your life would be if you hadn't learnt TM a couple of years ago?
I have a lot of stress, definitely. More grey hair. I say more because I've already got grey hair, but more grey hair. I just think generally just like what stress can do to the body, and it would be like a knock-on effect. A lot of sleep deprivation. Because I find that I do get a lot of restful sleep. I could do with some more sleep. I just love sleep. But when I meditate, there are times where I just feel really refreshed afterwards. And if I keep up my practice, which I have been doing, there have been like periods where I haven't done any meditation, but there's always something in the back of your mind thinking, hello, you've got to go meditate. Yeah. And that's what I love about it, is that you can sort of have those moments where you don't meditate, but then there's no one like saying, why haven't you done your meditation? So that you don't have that pressure.
Yeah.
And because I'm very much, I mentioned about I've got like OCD and I like to do things in a certain way. In a weird way, this is like my control of how I do my practice. And because it's showing such benefits, it's something that you want to keep doing.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So I think
Proof of the pudding's in the eating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think for me, because I've seen the difference, I think that if I didn't do it, which I have been periods where I haven't done it, I do notice that I am sort of like a bit more agitated.
Gotcha.
I kind of feel like I'm going back into a cycle that I could remember previously. And I think, okay, I'm aware of that. And it's just knowing that difference. And it's really helped me. So I think if I hadn't have done it, I would have been probably stressing and complaining, making people's lives a misery around me. Yeah.
If you could sum up your entire experience of TM in 5 words, what would they be?
Effortless meditation at your own pace.
Oh, it doesn't have to be a sentence. It could be just 5 unconnected words.
Oh, right, okay.
No, it's not like a massive challenge.
Okay.
So it could be something like, I don't know, blissful or peaceful or whatever, enlivening.
I'll say
5 words.
I would say super easy, effortless, blissful, enlightening.
Hang on a minute. Super easy is 2 words. Do it again. Super easy. Are we counting that as 1 word?
Super easy. That could be 1 word,
Okay,
hyphenated.
I'll give you that. Super easy.
Super easy.
New word.
Yeah. Ruth's dictionary. Effortless.
Yeah.
I would say life-changing.
Life-changing? Is that another 1-worder?
Yeah.
Hyphenated. You got 2 hyphenated. You only get 2 hyphenated.
Life-changing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Go on, you can give me that one.
I'm being...
I might think... I can't think of other 2 now. Did I say blissful?
I don't know.
I'll say blissful. And I would say...
Silent? Silent?
Silence!
Yeah,
there you go, before.
It showed us.
Silence!
It showed us.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to recap because I got a bit lost here. So we've got life-changing.
Yes.
I'm doing the hyphenated first. So life-changing was the first one. What was the other hyphenated
I
one?
don't remember.
Everlasting? No.
Life-changing.
Life-changing, blissful.
Super easy.
Super easy. Peaceful.
I can't remember.
Oh, that'll do.
And the last one's silence.
Silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a really good one, actually,
Yeah,
because
silence.
you enjoy the silence.
Yeah.
Isn't there a song?
It is.
Yeah.
Depeche Mode.
Yeah,
Amazing
you
song.
enjoy the silence. Yeah, and you really do.
Okay. Any last words for our viewers?
For our viewers, for those who are thinking about,
Yeah, for those who are thinking.
I will say do it. Definitely. You've got nothing to lose. Okay, you have a fee, but I see that fee as an investment. And if you're like me, you were like searching and you're going on different retreats and you have all these different counselling sessions as well, that's a huge cost. And I think for me, I don't even want to think about the amount of money I've spent previously on different things that it were good. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I think for what I've got now, I definitely say that was worth it, and it was a fraction of the cost. So
Amazing.
go for it.
Go for it. Did you hear that? Wise words from Ruth of Hackney. Ruth of Hackney. Thank you.
Thank you.